How do dogs choose their favorite person? Dog owners always want to be their dog's favorite person. Because, in fact, people need the love of their dog because they fulfill all their needs. But the bad news is that being the person who takes care of their basic needs doesn't make them their favorite. Well, have you ever thought of how these lovable creatures choose their favorite person? If you're ready, let's dive in. The wonderful journey in the world of dogs awaits. Here are the ways dogs choose their favorite person. Socialization. Many dogs depend on the people who care most about them during their key socialization periods between birth and the first 6 months. At this age, puppies' brains are extremely open, and their early social experiences affect them for the rest of their lives. That's why it's so important to ensure that puppies interact positively with a wide variety of people and places. One of the best examples for this is the fear of hats that dogs may experience later in their lives, as they were not exposed to people who wore hats when they first met them. But even though your dog might be already an adult when you first meet them, you don't need to worry. His favorite person can still be you. Early experiences are very important to dogs, but once you continue to socialize with them through quality time, playtime, and walks, you won't believe how everything will change so quickly. Attention and love. A dog may prefer someone who is not their primary caregiver, but most dogs tend to attach to the person who pays the most attention to them. For example, in a family with 2 parents and 2 children, the dog may prefer the parent who fills their plates every morning and takes them for a walk every evening. Let's talk about physical love. Physical attraction strengthens the bond between the dog and the person. If a person keeps distance from a dog, naturally the dog will want to keep the same distance. However, sitting in front of your dog and telling them about your day, sleeping with them, loving them, and doing daily maintenance will make them feel safe and make them love you more. Positive association. Dogs choose people who associate positive things as their favorites rather than the ones who care the most about them. In other words, when a person is the source of good things, the dog creates a bond with them. So doesn't this make sense for you? Of course, a dog will always love the person who plays their favorite game with them or gives them some of their favorite snacks. They are also aware that the person who feeds them the most is the most important part of their life. Don't you love the person who took you to eat burgers as a reward after a visit to the hospital more than the one who took you to the hospital instead? Of course you do, because the hospital symbolizes something bad for kids and eating hamburgers is something great. So how do you use positive attribution to help your dog train and socialize? For example, a guest that your dog has never seen before came to your house. Naturally, because your dog will have an instinct to protect you, it'll start barking harshly from a very remote part of the house. So if you shout at your dog at that time and take your guest into another room, it will be hard for you to handle the situation later, because in this case, in your dog's eyes, you've just turned into a stranger just like the guest. But if you get your guest to give your dog treats during that barking, you'll ensure that this new relationship stays in his mind as a positive experience. Kill 2 birds in 1 stone. Your dog was fed, and someone who it could love later showed up. Similar characters. Have you ever met a dog that looks and acts very much like their owner? They're almost the same. The expression applies to dogs and humans, because dogs choose the person who suits their energy level and personality as their favorite. For example, a dog who likes calmness and security prefers people who like to spend their day at home in a more calm and quiet environment. A more energetic, adventurous, and loud dog will love people who spend their day with 100% motivation, sports, and activities. Keep in mind, if you think your dog's favorite person is not you, don't lose hope. The easiest way to develop and increase the bond between you and your dog is to spend at least 30 minutes of focused time each day. These activities can include walks, an activity to work on the new skills, or a sports activity that you can do together. Remember that these bonds occur naturally between dogs and people who treat them well. In return for taking care of and protecting and watching over them, your dog will surely reward you with lifelong love, even if sometimes it wants to run and have fun with others.